Hey, greetings everyone, and hope you're having a great Valentine's Day today. It's one of those happy times, and but gosh, this year has been the this it's part of this year's been a crazy year for me and everything, and so like all of the important dates I've been missing because I've gotten sick on with gallbladder issues on Thanksgiving. Same thing with Christmas. Same thing with New Year's. And New Year's with us is our anniversary. So it wasn't a very good year for all of that. So hopefully this Valentine's, it'll be better, tonight, that kind of thing. Because gallbladder issues tend to hit at night. So I'm still waiting. So anyways, anyway, so today, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I got a computer over there. I've been sitting every night with my wife, just doing things, either work stuff or relaxing stuff. So it's over there. I bought this this kind of like a small table tray. It's basically it's a table the size just enough to put a laptop and your mouse, and it's on like a very thin neck, and kind of goes out for the wheels at the bottom. It's meant to go really close to a couch, so you can sit on a couch or a chair or something like that, and goes really, really close to you, so you can do stuff. So it's one of those. Got one of those over there by the couch, and I thought it would be very useful to have that computer over here as well. So I got a second one of those trays, and I need to assemble and set up something like right here. And so that's going to be changing the layout a little bit in the next week or so as I set things up. I have to move things out of the way from here. Y'all don't really see it, but under the table, I have these big, large tote boxes, and I have filament stored in there. And some of those filaments I don't use anymore. Some of them are a different brand, so some of them have probably gotten brittle just by no use over the years. So I do have to go through and filter some of those out. And but anyway, that's the storage area for my filament. It's all under there. So I'm going to move things out from here, clean this area up. I'll be able to put that laptop over here on that little tray, either this side or maybe this side, but I'm thinking that side there. And let's see what else I can say about that. Well, talking about this area here, I have to order a small little circular saw, like a handheld circular saw, because I am going to rescue the VSS engine room. Let me see if I can get the engine room right here, what's left of it. I got a lot of stuff in this. I'm using the top of the VSS as a table, so I don't want to move too many things. But maybe I could put the engine room part right here in the back. So here it is. I hope this is stable enough. So that's the underside of the engine room section. It looks warped, doesn't it? But it's not. It's I guess that's just the way the camera lens is. It looks like it's warped on this area right here, like it's curved, but it's not. It's all straight. And so this is the underside of it. This is what no one really got to see because it was, sitting on the table over here. But so what I'm going to be doing with a circular saw basically is cutting some of these areas that are connected with pegs. Because if you remember in previous broadcasts, I was saying that the way that I assembled this was to use pegs and then pegs with glue. And give it a chance. If I redo this, which I want to, and I got the new beams set up for it, I would replace all the pegs with screws. So I have a bunch of small little Allen screws, Torx screws, whatever they're called these days, stem bolts, if you want to call them that. And so I got a bunch of screws that I'll be replacing the pegs with. But I was thinking, instead of recreating the wheel, I was thinking I can just get a circular saw, cut the pieces that are glued, sand it down. Now that's going to be the weak part. So I was thinking maybe I can just Frankenstein it with just drill some screws, drill some holes for the screws, and then just force a connection. And so that way I don't have to reprint all of this. I can just use what I have here. Let me turn the other side. I got these things I don't want to lose. These, I'm using this as a table. These are for orders right here. Let me simply turn this around. Whoop, there it goes. More pieces. Okay, so yeah, so here's the the floor part. This is the front. This part here fits into this part of the VSS. So I'll be cutting this to remove this. All this is glued together right there. So I have to cut this away, and if I just try to break it, it's just going to break the plastics where I don't want it to break. So there's parts here I need to see. I tried breaking this part down here away, and that was a mistake because I ended up breaking the plastic right there. So I have to I'm going to have to just cut this there and make another piece that's just going to fit right in there. So it's going to look a little bit Frankensteinish. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not going to look too bad. If it does look too bad, then I'll just bite the bullet and just redo the whole thing. So I'll do that. Let's see. I'm going to have to cut away this also. This piece here. So I'm trying to see what parts can I salvage so I don't have to recreate the wheel. I wish I could redo this section over again, but it is very glued on there. I mean, I use a lot of glue on that. Different kinds of glues, so everything is, bonded really, really well. So I don't want to break that. I'm just going to use what I have. But if you're curious, here are the new pieces that I'll be using instead. So if I can Frankenstein this together, use screws to replace the pegs, and I don't and cut away parts that I want to replace. Then what I can do is I can keep most of this, and then going forward I can use the new pieces like these. If not, then of course I'll just have to reprint. So I got to print more of these things for the tops. I got to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there, and then I need to do more for the top of the VSS. Same thing, just put a bunch of these beams. So it's going to be interesting to see. Let's see if I can cut away things. And so that's where that's at right there. So going forward, I'll be doing screws like this one. You can kind of see a little bit. I do have screws connecting, and so going forward, I'll be using screws and screw holes, things like that, rather than the old-fashioned pegs like this. The pegs worked really well, but they required glue, and so if you get an idea with a DioWarriors parts, with these beams, and then you want to change the idea for something else, you really can't do that with glued pieces. So that's another reason why I want to move away from gluing pegs and use screws. The other thing is pegs are good. They have their place. Okay. But but they shouldn't be used universally everywhere. And especially if you want to take things apart and things. And that's where this design, in terms of the pegs, fails, I think. So screws from here on out. Okay, enough of that. Well, now, part of it, because I am still, working on this part now, it's kind of like taking a step back. I haven't been doing much in terms of new photos, new pictures, and things. So I do want to rush to get this going again to the same point where I was last year, because then I'll be able to move forward and have more photos. So yeah. So anyway, maybe next week, maybe next broadcast. Who knows? Maybe I'll have something more then. So anyway, okay. Next step. Next item. I got everything over there. Let me go get it for you. 6-inch stuff. Right here. Don't know if y'all, if I had it from last time. I didn't rewatch my broadcast last time. In terms of the 6-inch items, I know I had some items that were printed. I don't remember if I showed like the nuclear core piece being finished and fused together. So this is one for a 6-inch figure. Figure won't be able to lift it and grab it. Probably is going to fall right when I get to the camera. So 6-inch warp core, not warp core, nuclear core there, and let's see. And then of course, these are not glued, but this is the prototype of what you call it, the modular computer rack stuff. So
Rockstar by DaBaby, featuring Roddy Ricch on Amazon
computer
Music.
cancel.
Canceling.
I should mute that. So next to a 6-inch figure, this is about as how big they are. Now I got to look at. So the Echo device, the Alexa device, misinterpreted what I was saying. The word computer is the key word. So now it's showing me you may also like, and I don't want to see that. Anyway, okay. So this is about as big as it is here. I'm thinking maybe it's a little bit, maybe what I could do is for this scale, I can do an open version, so you can have a figure putting computer cards and things like that into the actual thing, because 6-inch you can do a lot more detail with a printer than you can with the 1/18 scale. So I'm thinking like what I can do with this is to have like a motherboard inside the computer, and with it, with actual slots that you can put expansion cards in there, so you could have. I don't think they have in the classified series mainframe yet. I thought they did, but I don't remember. But if they have it, or if they come out with it, or maybe in Valaverse, maybe they have some sort of computer specialist that I can get. Then I can have the computer specialist putting things into a computer. That would be interesting. So this is how this one is looking. Try to get the glare off of the plastics. And I need to go back in and do some more sanding and things like that. But this gives an idea. And I got 2 of them. Now this one this one I just picked off. Barely started the cleanup process. So you can see 2, one on top of the other. But this one I'm still cleaning up, so still not great. Let me see. I don't want the parts to fall. So you kind of see how it looks like that. The part with the monitor is deep enough that you can put an acrylic piece to give the monitor more of a monitor shine, glassy shine. And so I'll see about doing that. So this is the first faceplate for these. I still have to do the back part for them. I don't have that done yet. So you can see, how a small rack of this might look with a 6-inch figure. They look kind of big, but in real life they are actually kind of big. Of course, in real life they have this size. I think it's called like I want to say BU or something like that. It's something unit. I forget what they are, but you could also get them in half. And then they have larger sizes there. And it's been a while since I've done anything with a rack computer system. So you can get them, twice as tall. So anyway, let me move this one out of the way. Oh, and that, well, every place is like full of 3D parts. Can I put it here? Hope I don't forget where I put them. Okay, so every place is like out. Well, I got a lot of 3D parts. I'm thinking like maybe I need to do like some sort of, like like a grab bag kind of thing, just put the excess stuff that I don't need anymore and things like that, and just put them up on the store. Anyone can get. And so, okay, with that said, let's see. I also have, I just had it right here. These are right off of the printer. Guitars, banjos. They are in various levels of cleanup. So I got two. So when you see them, they're not going to look very good. They're going to look kind of messy. So right when they come out of the printer, I print them with a little raft for these, because the wood material, for small items like this, sometimes wants to lift off of the bill plate. So I do a raft and I print directly on there. So this is a little banjo. Of course, if you want to, you need to finish it with whatever details. If you want to string it yourself, things like that. Here's a guitar. Still some support structures there that I need to remove. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to get done, obviously. And here's another guitar part. So I don't know what you call the body of the guitar, but this one here is the hourglass shaped thing. It's more pronounced, and this one here is less pronounced. So I don't know which one looks better. I'm kind of thinking this one does. And so I'll need to, clean it up and send it out. I'm sorry. This is actually for an order. So I'm completing these. And of course, the rest. So I have a bunch that I have printed, and they are available, or they will be available on the store once I clean them up some. Because I don't want to send something out like this. Let's see. Okay, and so anyway, those are the 6-inch stuff, and those are the things with the VSS I was, I've been working with. There's another thing that I'm trying to do, and that's the I'm trying to make like a checklist included for all the pieces, for all the different projects, and so so some of these larger projects like the battlefield robot thing, the the watertight doors, the harpoon missile system, things like that. They require an assembly guide to help put the parts together. So on those complicated ones, I do have them, and if you need them, let me know. I'll send you a PDF. And I still need to find a better way to have a server that can host just the PDF files, rather than use the Google, whatever they call it, the Google Drive. I don't know if the Microsoft OneDrive would be good for that. But anyways, I'm putting together a checklist to be added to those the assembly guides, the instruction booklets, and so that's the other latest news about DioWarriors is that. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what else. I'm moving kind of quickly here. I don't have a script in front or any notes that I should stay with. I should probably do that on the live broadcast. But like, for example, like today, I was watching something on YouTube in the morning, and I was just having my morning coffee, and I was and there was someone talking about the metaverse that Facebook is doing, and that the guy was talking about Microsoft is going to win and dominate the metaverse. And so I didn't get to finish watching the video. I had to get up and leave. And so I'm going to go back and watch it. But what got me thinking is that, and this is something that got me into the mood to go into and do something with a broadcast. I should probably go back and redo this section again when and do it like a pre-recorded video, that kind of thing, properly edited and stuff like that. But what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of hype going on about the metaverse and stuff like that, and people, including myself, have different ideas on what the metaverse actually is, or what it will be, what it will become. So when you go to YouTube and stuff, you see a lot of references to different movies. Ready Player One, for example, is one movie, and then other kinds of movies that have some sort of VR or alternate reality type of setup. And a lot of people also, when they talk about getting something like an Oculus Quest or a Meta Quest, as the name's being changed, what they use as example is a game environment. So you see game this, game that, game something else, as if VR is nothing but games. And years ago, I don't know what it is now, but years ago when I was going to LSU and stuff, and so before I graduated there, I was reading magazines back then, different computer topics. And one of the things that I came across was this was back then, computer games only accounted for 3% of the market. I don't know what it is now. It's probably more now. But a lot of people tend to forget, like, for example, the internet. What is the internet? A lot of people tend to not realize that the internet is more than simply a website, collection of websites, or more than simply websites and YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that goes on with internet protocols that companies use, software use, that have nothing to do with a website. And so when you get into something like the metaverse, I think if you want to see where things go in terms of which company is going to come out on top and things like that, I think it's smart to look into the past of what has happened before, like with the evolution of the PC in the home and the evolution of the internet, not just in the home, but in the workplace as well. The way I see the metaverse in a very short nutshell is business rather than games. The direction of it's one of those difficult things, because it's kind of like, if you look at the early days of the PC, okay, everyone talks about the early days of Apple starting in a garage, and then going into a user group, and then from there, basically, it's like almost like a grassroots movement. Microsoft, a different approach with software, started in New Mexico and stuff like that, and so, but if you look at the different the way things went with the PC, the way it was for me, and it's probably for many folks, is that we got a PC at the house. It was expensive, and so we got it for business, essentially. Learn CAD design, basically, something to help enhance a person's skills. In this case, it was my brother and it was my father, and I kind of just like looked over their shoulder. So when I got into high school, it was had I think a better introduction for using a computer. And I remember early computer labs at my high school. It was before MS-DOS, so they had older machines. And when I got into high school, it was actually 8th grade. So instead of starting in my freshman year, it was, you can start early, basically at 8th grade. So the high school had like during the math class, had they would coordinate with all the math classes for the early grades, like 8th grade, like my grade. And so, so basically one day went to school, they had math class, and instead of staying inside the room for it, teacher was saying, okay, we're going to go to the computer lab. So everyone went there. First time going into the computer lab over there. I didn't even know my high school had a computer lab. And it was all CPM type machines. Okay, these would be like a big box, basically about the size of your desk. Keyboard. I think the keyboard was loose. It wasn't actually physically connected to the case of the computer. Small little bitty screen, green screen, and slots on the side for your floppy drives. In this case, it wasn't the 8-inch floppy drives. It was the 5 1/4-inch floppy drives. And so, back then it was they're using something called CPM. I don't remember the actual name of the operating system, but it was basically, it's a Z80 chip. So this was before MS-DOS, really kicked on. The next time I went to the computer lab, those machines were phased out, and they were just beginning to get, MS-DOS PC type machines. So the way I got into computers and stuff was from my family. And the reason it was because of business. It wasn't about playing games. Everyone around me, my friends, cousins, and such, were getting the Atari 2600 console machine. But I remember for Christmas, my father was asking me what did I want for Christmas, and I told him I want a computer. And I wasn't talking about an Atari 2600. I wanted something I could actually sit down with a keyboard and try programming. And so that's where my interest went. It wasn't games, it was programming. So, jump ahead. What I saw around me with the evolution of the PC, and people got into a personal computer, either they got into something that was a game console, and then from there they got into something better, such as a better game console, and then little by little, so those people went more on the game side of things. But then there were other people that I knew, they got into a game console as their first introduction to a computer, and then they went into the Radio Shack TRS-80 type computers, so they can play better games, but they could also do a little bit more than just games. And then from there, I started to see people either branch off, go with an Apple, Mac. I guess it was just the first generation of them, or into a PC clone. So with me, I got into a PC clone. This was instead of the IBM PC that was running PC DOS, it was running MS-DOS. And so from there, I learned my own way, programming. I got into different forms of BASIC and Pascal, then later on into C, and then other kinds of languages and stuff. So what I saw around me was not the game aspect. It was getting involved with business aspect. And of course, if you look at the history books will say something similar. Okay, they'll say, for example, the killer app that made a brand. Okay, for example, what made Apple into a success, besides the graphics screen that they were doing, they attribute Apple's success to a color laser printer. So that way you can do desktop publishing from home or from your place of work. And so it was a low cost desktop publishing. So you can start doing your brochures, your magazines, your newsletters and things, instead of going to a company that would do typesetting and things. You can do all of that from your Mac in your home, or in your office yourself. So desktop publishing was the way that a lot of people got into the Apple type products. So the color laser printer is considered the killer app that made the Mac into a household thing for many people, and it's probably one reason why when you got into schools and stuff, Apple was targeting the publishing side of a university and such. So the journalist people, they had access to Macs. The anything that dealt with graphics like that, graphic design stuff, was in their computer labs, was mostly Macs. And then so Apple did other types of standards, color standards. One of the strengths of Apple at the time was all of the hardware came from Apple, including the monitor. So if you got yourself a color monitor, well, that shade of red or that shade of blue is going to be exactly the same as another shade of red, as another monitor from Apple, because it's all using the same hardware. So you started to get standards into that. Same thing with the color laser printer. It was calibrated for the Apple stuff. So basically what you see is what you got. So that red is going to look red when you print it. Well, with PCs, the killer app, the history books will say, would be Lotus 123, basically the spreadsheet. So when you went to the office, you came home, you can continue your spreadsheet calculation. You could do home financing. Well, you could do your personal financing at home using Lotus 123. A lot of people will remember what that was. Lotus was the company, and the software was called 123. It was a spreadsheet. And so a lot of people bought a PC and they wanted to use spreadsheet and do things for their business, for home, whatever. So those are the two killer apps for the PC and for the Mac. What will be the killer app for the metaverse? That's still, we don't know yet. Okay. A lot of people are looking at games as the interface for the metaverse. To me, I see it differently. To me, when I want to do something about the metaverse, I'm thinking about what can I do to make some money off of it, because it's expensive. And how can I use the metaverse, for example, to extend my business? I have a 3D object, okay? I want people to see it. I can, put it onto a website, and you can move around, rotate the object, all that on the website. But if things are going more towards a 3D world within the computer, then I want something that I can, interact with. So I think that the way the direction for the metaverse is not necessarily going to be games here and there. I mean, there's only so many shooter games or exercising games you can, or sword type games you can play, and then everything gets old. So I think the killer app for the metaverse is not going to be games, but it's got to be something that's going to make the virtual world a bit more tangible for everyone to be able to have a reason to use it. And that's where I think the big thing is. It's got to be a reason for people to use it. With Why use a Mac in those early days was for desktop publishing. Why use a PC in those early days was to extend your business, your calculations, I suppose, the accounting, the banking. So with a spreadsheet. So I think when it comes to the metaverse, it's got to be something that's not going to be necessarily games. Games are going to be the interface part, the graphics part. But you don't need to play games in order to have access to that. It's not really practical to be inside of a VR virtual world using 2D apps, 2D interfaces like web browsing. It's more comfortable not to have a headset and have access to a web browser. So a lot of people are looking at collaboration environments, like some sort of virtual Zoom or something like that. And I can see that being something, but it's got to be a bit more natural. So anyway, I'm going to think about this some more, watch that video some more, and probably do my own little recorded video of that, properly edited and things, because I do have videos that are recorded from my own Oculus headset. It is impressive. I'm trying to set up my workspace completely in VR, and it's not quite there yet, but it's almost there. I need to get a few other things. For example, I need to get a mouse that has Bluetooth, so when I'm wearing the headset, I can track the mouse. Same thing with the keyboard. I got a nice keyboard from Razer. It's all nice and flashy and stuff. But when I put on the headset, I can't see it. I have to lift up and see from underneath. Like, okay, there, and I can't really use the keyboard. I have to use an on-screen keyboard. And when you're using the controllers, it's basically it's a finger point. So basically, it's almost like pointing with your finger, and you can't really get too far in terms of speed doing that for much. So I do need to get the keyboard that has Bluetooth, so I can track it within VR. A mouse with Bluetooth to also track that within VR. Until then, it's not going to be very practical for me to reproduce my office environment inside of a virtual reality environment. Now, with that said, there are some nice options out there. The names don't come to me right now. There's a freebie. I don't remember the name. There's a freebie environment that you can reproduce your office environment in their environment. I kind of like it, but I also at the same time I don't. I like it in the sense that it's some nice backgrounds. But you see, this is the thing, okay? Everyone is trying to do their own thing with the virtual environment. So when you put on your Oculus, the first thing you go to is your home room. And that's basically, it's a glorified menu system. You can look all around behind you and see a room. In the new versions, you can get up and you can actually go to one location in your room. But to do anything practical, you still have to access a menu. And so it's basically looking at a 3D desktop. You have a 2D menu system, a 2D browser, a 2D everything else inside of a 3D environment. And of all of this, your battery on your headset is draining down, so you can't really use it all day. So there's give and takes. What other companies are doing with trying to do your virtual office is they give you their own version of a room. So instead of going to your room that you start up, you go to their room to do the work. And like, for example, if you're doing some sort of collaboration or virtual meeting, you go to, let's say you're using the Meta, I don't know, I'm just putting the name out of the air, Meta Meeting or something like that. It's a virtual table, very nice setup. Okay, you can change the number of people who are going to be sitting in this conference room. You can have a one-to-one layout or multiple layout, whatever. You can change those things. That's nice. But the thing is that if you go to the Microsoft one, it's another conference room. So everyone is trying to come up with their own environment. And so right now you're going to have competing companies. Each company is trying to introduce their virtual world, their virtual environment, so you can use their virtual office tools in their virtual environment. And what I'm thinking is, back in the days when the PC started up, people were doing their own thing. When you got into the internet, what do you do with something called a home page? What's a home page? A lot of people didn't know until people start making their own home pages. GeoCities started up, and you can make your own website on there, just some drag and drop tools, and learn a little bit of HTML. And people were making their own websites. These days, there's you can make your own website and host it on your own computer if you really wanted to. You can't really do that with the virtual environment just yet. You can download Unity, you can download Unreal Engine, and you can do something locally with it. But I don't think yet that it's at the friendly point where anyone can just go to a virtual environment and make it their own, and then use that same environment to run their virtual office, and all those other things. It's not quite there yet. So I think that probably, and this is what I'm thinking, in my opinion, the killer app for a VR system is one where it's open enough where you can have your own virtual office in that environment. You don't have to go to another environment. And you're able to load up your own personal objects that you do yourself or you purchase yourself. Because one thing that I haven't found how to really do is I make a keyboard, okay, a 3D keyboard, and I want to see it in my own virtual environment. How do I do that? If I were to make the file of this keyboard and give it to someone on a different computer, all I have to do is just give them the file, and they can load up the file on their own system easily. Can they, in other words, they can access that file. Of course, they'll have to have different software to properly see the file, but at least I can get them the file. How can I get someone the file in a virtual environment? If you have a VR system and I have a VR system, there is really no easy way within the VR system to send you this file. I can do it within Windows. I can do it within some other operating system, but not within the headset. And when I'm sitting in my virtual chair in my virtual start room, I would like to be able to access the file, see it virtually, and then send you that file, and then you comfortably sitting in your own virtual environment be able to open up mail, whatever, and then access that virtual file. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if there's a virtual see, a lot of things are saying, yeah, you can do it virtually. It's still using 2D apps. Just go into your whatever software you use to access your email. Well, with me, I can do it through, Gmail, Google, or Hotmail, things like that. But that still is a 2D environment. So I'm using a browser to access a 2D web page. So I'm still hunting around for something that can do like a mail client that I can open in a virtual environment. And I don't find that yet. So I'm thinking there isn't anything like that yet. You can access 2D mail in a 3D environment, But so there's a lot of hybrids going on. I think I'm probably wrong. There's the world is a big place. Lots of companies wanting to jump in and do something that's never been done before, and so maybe there's something else that's out there, or maybe something that will be released soon. I don't know, but anyway, I am excited about the metaverse in general. I am excited about virtual environments. I want to do my 3D stuff in a 3D environment. I need to clean up this place to make this place more safe, because if I put on my Oculus Quest thing right now, I basically I have only up to here behind me before I start bumping into things. So so for me, it's not practical to use my virtual headset and then start going into a game where I have to go across the room, because I'm not going to be able to make it across the room in this. I can only work here. And so I need to clean up this place a bit more. And so expect to see some videos later from me where I'm showing what you can see in a virtual environment. In fact, I think I can probably show something like that right now if I can access my cloud storage that I have right here. Let me just see real fast. Find where I put it. Oh, it's not going to be there. It's going to be in this other one. You see, I got these Western Digital, my cloud stuff. I got two versions. I got the one that's more business oriented, so you can access it from even outside. And I got the My Cloud Home, which I mistakenly thought I could do the same, but it's optimized for personal stuff. So it's really great for personal, but it's not great when I want to access it, let's say, from a coffee shop. Can't really do that. Okay, let's see. I have let's see. It's not going to be there. Seagate backup. No. I probably have it on another machine. Let me see. Let me go turn on this other machine. Okay. Oh yeah. Let me show you. Well, can't really see the light from it, but there's a computer down there. Yeah, you can see some lights. Those two white lights down there. One of them is the power. The one on below is, I guess, the hard drive. I got that one from one of those kiosks, and the company was moving into a new building, and the old building had some hardware left over from the previous occupants, and I was able to just to ask and get this kiosk. It's like one of those 24/7 convert your paycheck into cash, that kind of kiosk. And so I took it apart. I just left the kiosk there, and I just took everything apart. And I was surprised. Inside that kiosk was a Dell computer. Bare bones. Okay, it ran Windows 7. It was all touchscreen. So I salvaged stuff. I took the touchscreen. I have it in pieces. And it had a regular monitor, not touchscreen. So it was two monitors. I have that also in pieces. They had no frame. So it's not like you're getting a monitor from the store with a nice frame. This is without the frame. It's just the screen, the electronics in the back, screwed on to the frame for the kiosk. And I got this thing, and so it moves as slow as a snail. It's only got like 2 gigs RAM, small hard drive, but it's great for running the laser cutters. And I do have external hard drive set up on there because it's low power. It's safe to keep it on basically all the time. So when I do backups, instead of leaving my main machine on, I just turn that machine on and I just do backups overnight. And it does really well for that, low power. Now let me see if I can actually connect to it now. Let's see. What's the address that I need? Okay, fingers crossed. Yeah, so here is VR stuff. I have an untitled MP4. Can I run from here? Try VLC media. It's taking its sweet time. Maybe it'll be, oh well, now something's coming up. Okay. I am going to mute it. So let me show real fast. I don't know what I'm saying on this thing. Please read. No. Okay. Let me go share. Put on the volume here because I muted the player because I don't know what I'm saying on there. So I want to vet my words before I put it on. Go share. Share screen. Okay. Window. VLC. This is untitled. Okay. And let's see. So I don't know what I'm saying there, but anyway, this is oh, you see my mouse. Okay, so without knowing what I'm saying, it looks kind of choppy, doesn't it? Let me see. So I have, yeah, it looks like it's paused. Okay, now it's moving. I don't know. There is movement. So anyways, the video quality is a lot better. It's coming over, maybe it's coming over Wi-Fi or something like that. But anyway, this is the Oculus start screen, please. The homepage you get. And yeah, so this is the I'm just going through different things. So this is the browser that's in there, DioWarriors store. So I'm just taking a look. So this is like the start screen. So this is probably also bad quality. So I'm going to stop it. But what I'll try to do later is splice good quality video together and just talk over it and things. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this this broadcast now. Going to basically, I'm trying to get back into the mood of things again. You know, I've been sitting in the other room, so now I'm trying to get back to this room here. You know, I've got some order stuff going out, so I need to resume that. So I have the machines off at the moment, and so right when I get done with the video, I'll put them back on and start going. You know, they make noise, and you know, I'm going to think about it some more. If y'all are interested in stuff like the metaverse and things like that, I'm going to try to elaborate my own thoughts on there as I use virtual environments myself. You know, the more I use, the more I'm going to try to, you know, echo my thoughts to everybody. And well, yeah, so I think I covered everything basically. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will continue later. I will do another video, maybe later this week, and maybe I won't do a broadcast, but I'll definitely do another video. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. Have a great Valentine's, and I'll catch y'all later. I'll do some updates with this thing too. There was something else I wanted to say, but I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, I'm going to be making my own vacuum forming machine. So if y'all are interested in doing your own vacuum forming, you know, I'm going to do some videos showing step by step basically what I do, and you know, might inspire y'all to do it if that's something you've been wanting to do. And same thing with electroplating. I got a project going on for electroplating. It's been on my mind for the past few years, but I'm going to try to start doing it myself and, you know, share the video as I do them. And, you know, so thanks for watching, folks. Catch y'all next time. Bye-bye.